Hey, what's up? This is Anthony Ladon, and in this video, I'm gonna show you how to take a video of your stand-up comedy set and chop it up into little clips for social media with captions using DaVinci Resolve, version 20, the paid version. And if you're too broke or too busy to do that, you can actually just hire me to do it. Link below. All right, so let's dive in. So first things first, I'm gonna select New Project, and I'm just gonna call this Clips and Captions. Next thing is I'm going to go down and select our project settings just to make sure everything is as I want it. So timeline resolution, I'm going to select 1920 by 1080, and then I'm going to click the little use vertical resolution box. Timeline frame rate, I'm going to change to 2997 as well. Click save. Now let's import our media. I'm going to hit Command I to do that. I'm going to select my video file, and then I'm going to click open. Next, I'm going to create a timeline using that selected clip. So we're just going to right click on the clip and select create new timeline using selected clips. Isn't it great when everything works out? And I'm going to leave all these settings as default because when I recorded this and edited it, I did it perfectly. Perfect. Okay, that looks good. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this intro. So I'm going to go to where I think about there, and I'm going to hit Command \, select that and hit Shift Delete. I'm just going to trim that off. I don't need it. All right, so now we can start the reframe process. So this looks pretty good, but in general, when I do clips for social media, I like the body of the comedian to be a little bit larger on the screen, and I like it to be face tracked so that the camera follows the comedian as they move back and forth. And if we scrub through here, you can see that it's not following me at all yet. And I'm a little bit small on screen. All right, so let's fix that. I'm going to zoom this in to about 133. That looks pretty good to me. You can use your judgment here. If you like, getting real close in, you can do that. But for this purposes, I'm just going to do 1.33. Okay, great. That's about the size I want. Now let's do the face tracking. So to do that, I'm going to select the clip. I'm going to make sure that my inspector is opened up. And I'm going to click on the AI Smart Reframe, go to Object of Interest and Mode, leave those as Auto, and I'm going to select Reframe. Great. Now we can scrub through the timeline and see how well or poorly it's done its job. That looks pretty good to me. Let's see here.
When I got up here.
Oh no.
Some of you guys looked a little worried when I got up here.
That looks pretty good to me. Okay, the next thing we need to do is lift me up a little bit. In general, when I'm doing clips, I like the eye line to be about on one. In general, when I'm doing clips, I like the eye line to be on one of the rule of thirds lines. With DaVinci Resolve 20, you can actually set rulers and guides. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to pull this one down. Actually, you know what? We can just right click on it, click Edit Guide. And then I'm going to say -640 horizontal, save. Boom. Now, we can't just drag the y-axis up here because since it's already created a bunch of keyframes, if we just do it, it'll only create a keyframe for this frame. And you'll see now it'll drag, if we just play through.
Paying it off.
So it just pops it up and back down for that one frame only. So to fix that, we need to get rid of all the existing Y keyframes. So I'm going to go up to keyframes and it'll open up and where it says position Y, I'm just going to click the little reset icon. Boom. Now I can change the Y-axis so that my eyes are right on that line.
You're doing your part to help.
And that's pretty good. Yeah, that looks great. All right, now we can move on. So the next step is to create our subtitles. That is as simple as a couple of clicks. I love it. I'm going to go to Timeline, AI Tools, Create Subtitles from Audio. Now for the settings here, I'm just going to select, for language, I'm going to just leave as auto. For caption preset, I'm going to do subtitle default. We're going to change it anyway. For maximum characters per line, I set that to 10. That's just the way I like my captions to look. If you like more words on the screen at one time, you can increase that number and you can play around with that. I'm going to select 10. The lines, I'm going to select double just because I like having two different lines. And click Create. Great. Now, I don't really like that format, so let's go ahead and change it. Now, to change the subtitle format, I'm going to go up to Effects and click Effect. And then under the toolbox, I'm actually going to search. It was already there, but let's pretend like it didn't happen. I'm going to search for word highlight. And then I'm going to click and drag it down to the subtitle track. Perfect. Now you'll see that it popped up with its own little format down there. It's super tiny. Let's change that. So now we're going to style the subtitle track. To do that, I'm going to click on the subtitle track, go up here to the upper right-hand corner, click track. The first thing I'm going to switch is write on words. I'm going to go ahead and check that box because I like when it writes the words on the screen. For center, I'm going to change that to 0.4x and 0.4y. All that does is just puts it slightly off center in the screen. And that's to make room for the little buttons on the right-hand side, or the little icons, for the Instagram and TikTok stuff. So now let's style it. For font, for this example, I'm going to choose Bangers. Color, let's do white. And for size, I'm going to do 0.16. Let's see. I kind of like it large like that, but you can do whatever you like. All right, and the word highlight, why don't we do like this nice blue over here? Let's try that. Great. So now we can go through and see if there are any issues. Now, because I've chosen a font that's a little large and I made it slightly off center, some of the text is going to be off the screen. If you can live with that, leave it as is. I can't. So I'm actually going to just decrease the size here a little bit, and that I think looks a lot better. And as I scrub through, I don't see any other issues. That looks pretty good to me. So you can go through, scrub through, see if you find any issues. The other thing you can do is see if there are any issues with the actual words, the actual subtitles. So to do that, let's say there's an issue. Let's click back on caption here. So let's say there's an issue. Let's see.
This hike, and we hear this noise, off in the distance, like.
Okay, so far it's pretty good. I can't find any issues, but let's just say that, okay, I found an issue. Now AI has figured out that I'm talking about a bear in this bit, and it thinks that I'm actually imitating a bear sound when I'm not, which is part of the joke. So in order to fix that, I am going to zoom in here just so I can click on that individual subtitle. And right here, I'm just going to say imitates chainsaw sound. And now it's a little large, so I'm going to hit return. And there we go. That's how you fix an individual caption. All right, for the last step, let's export. I'm going to go over to the deliver page. Now I've got a preset setup called stand-up videos, but for deliver settings, you can pause the video right now just to see what settings I've got on the video side of things. That's the important one for this. Okay, and the only important thing we need to do is make sure to export subtitles. So as we scroll down, there's a subtitle setting menu, click that, and check the box that says export subtitle. And then for format, select burn into video. Then you can click the add to render queue button. Let's tell it where to go. I like here in my projects local folder, let's say demo, clip and captions demo. Perfect. Click save, and now render all. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And that's it. We'll see you next time. Bye.